I would now like to give the floor to Scott Forward, President of IISD.
Glenn, thank you very much, colleagues. Good morning. It's a great pleasure to be here. Let me begin by saying on behalf of the International Institute of Sustainable Development how pleased and honored we are to work with members of the IGF. And we have many IISD colleagues here. I want to introduce a few of them, and over the next 3 days to say we're here to support your work. So as you know, the IGF is being administered by IISD, and it's under the overall direction of my senior colleague, Natalie Bernasconi. And in addition, we have a new and really dynamic team in the Secretariat, Greg Radford, Matthew Bliss, Tristan Easton, and others. And they're all here to make this work focused and over the next 3 days to provide you with information and then critically to follow up as well. I also want to introduce other ISD colleagues who are here that are working closely with the IGF, and I think what this underscores is what we've just heard from Ambassador Ryder is the issues around fiscal transparency, looking at how to structure contracts and FDI to deliver benefits to local communities and to empower issues around gender equality, around integrated water resource management, climate vulnerability, low carbon economy. And many of the colleagues are here. I can just introduce a few. Howard Mann, Alec Crawford, Dimple Roy, Ann Hamill, Peter Wooders are here, and they'll be talking to you over the next 3 days about some of those issues in more detail. And in addition, you're going to have your photo taken repeatedly over the next 3 days. We have a group of 5 colleagues from IISD reporting services, and that's being led by my colleague Lynn Wagner. And they'll be posting the work of this meeting on international websites in the similar way that the Earth Negotiation Bulletins, for those of you that cover international negotiations meetings, there'll be a daily summary of these meetings. And so I think these are just some examples of how seriously we take the work of IGF. And in addition, honored to have 2 ISD board meeting members here, Felix von Suri and Ian Stewart, and they are based here in Switzerland. And just to say from our perspective how important this is. Let me also, I have several thanks. Second is to our chair, Glenn, just to say that I couldn't think of a more dynamic, capable chair than IGF, and I wanted to acknowledge his leadership as well as the leadership of the IGF Executive Committee for your sustained commitment to the work of IGF. Let me also thank our friends at UNCTAD. This is the 12th time that the IGF has taken place in your home. We're honored with the partnership with UNCTAD, and I think part of that is we've just heard from the opening statement of the Deputy Secretary General, is that I've long admired UNCTAD's leadership in bringing intellectual rigor and looking at how to expand the globalization in a way that delivers benefits to local communities and inclusive wealth and gender empowerment. And we've heard from Ambassador Ryder that one of the themes over the next 3 days would be the specific linkages around the 2030 Agenda and the Sustainable Development Goals, and the strong linkages with the mining and extractive sector. My final thanks are to the Government of Canada, and not only for Canada's sustained financial support to the work of the IGF, but also the commitment that Canada brings with all the other governments here to ensuring that the IGF creates a safe space in which now 56 IGF member countries and over 80 organizations come together to share concrete practices and lessons around sustainability in the extractive sector. And some of those organizations, there's too many to mention today, but the World Economic Forum, UNDP, PDAC, Global Compact, and